back. So in an effort to help young children understand HIV and AIDS and to get rid of the stigma attached to it, author and activist Nozibele Qamngana-Mayaba penned a children's book, and it's called I Am Still Zuri. This morning, she joins us to tell us more about the book. Nozibele, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for speaking to us. I think definitely an important book. Why did you feel the need to write it?
Firstly, thank you so much for having me. It was inspired by my own story. I've been living with HIV since 2013. I was diagnosed while I was still at work, and I detail all of that journey on my first book, I Am Still Me, by Nozibele Qamngana-Mayaba. But earlier this year, my niece, she's 4 years old, she came to live with us. And, you know, my husband and I are so used to our own routine. And this one night, I was taking my ARVs, and she asked me so innocently, and she said, Nozi, what pills are these? And I was so shocked because for a long time I'm used to speaking to the older youth, to parents. I've never spoken to kids about what HIV is. And before I could answer, she asked me, are you sick? Because she's come to understand that when you're sick, you have to cough or you have a tummy ache. And after that, she just went along and didn't even give me an opportunity to answer her. So it was quite difficult, and I had to think about, how many parents go through the same thing of having to navigate either the kids being HIV positive or them living with HIV. How do we explain what HIV is to kids? And my aim with this book, I Am Still Zuri, based on a 7-year-old girl that was born with HIV, is to destigmatize and dismantle HIV to a language that children understand and that they can learn from.
Yeah, what do you want that to achieve, though? And I'm not talking just about the destigmatization, but really just how do we get to that free, sort of open conversation around HIV in South Africa? And it's shocking that we still have to discuss this.
Absolutely. The other day, I was reading a report by UNAIDS, and you would assume that, all kids now should be born HIV-free, but there are still kids that are being infected, and it is a concern despite the PMTCT prevention from mother to child. What I have learned is that there's fear still that we have in talking about HIV, and the fear that we have is the fear that we are going to instill to our children. So I think what I wanted to achieve is to continue to have, comfortable and continuous conversation with our children. The number one thing that I want to break is, no, I'll tell her when, I'll tell him when they're about 15 or they're about 12. But we all know that there's a recent report that was, published that as early as 10 years old, our kids are giving birth to their own children, pertaining to the teenage pregnancy report. So let us continue having those difficult conversations. But having a difficult conversation is understanding the language that a child is at that particular age. For example, my niece is 4 years old. Yes, she's going to have difficulty in understanding the complexities of what HIV is. But then she does understand what germs are. She understands that she needs to wash her hands so that she doesn't get sick from germs. She understands that she needs to wear her mask so that she doesn't get germs from and get COVID. Similar to that, she's going to understand that her aunt is taking, a pill once a day at night so that she can give power to her soldiers to overpower all the germs that are inside of her that want to hurt her body.
Yeah, that's a very good explanation, really. That simplifies it so well. I can imagine that there'd be so many parents then that would like to really learn how to communicate this with their learners, with their children, rather. How do we get the book?
The book, I actually am launching it today. It is available online, Ethnic Kids. It's an online children's library store. Once again, it's Ethnic Kids. It is available there and everyone can go and order.
Yeah, wonderful work and congratulations on that book as well. Great work. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Author, HIV activist and YouTuber Nozibele Qamngana-Mayaba speaking to us there.